Hello, this is Vivek Williams, and you're watching Head to Head. The war in Donbas is in its fifth year. More than 1.5 million people have been displaced, over 10,000 killed, and it will take decades to restore the economy, infrastructure, and environment of the region. And always, the question is how and when will Ukraine regain control over the occupied territories? To discuss the prospects of what lies ahead, we're joined in the studio by Oleksandr Levchenko, Special Advisor to Ukraine's Minister for Temporarily Occupied Territories and Internally Displaced Persons. Oleksandr, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you very much for the invitation.
So why don't we start talking about what we talked about a little bit before we started this interview, was what's the most pressing thing we're looking at, hopefully in the near future, when it comes to trying to return these territories to Ukrainian control?
Of course, we have 4.5 years of temporary occupied territory in the Donbas and Crimean Peninsula. And of course, every Ukrainian citizen asks itself, and the Ukrainian government also discuss how we will return this temporary occupied territory to the constitutional space of Ukrainian state. And now we have a good possibility, an instrument, real instrument, to implement some peaceful initiative and realize some documents like Minsk Agreement 1 and Minsk Agreement 2, and to realize that using peacekeeping mission headed by International Transitional Administration, we could a real possibility to return this territory, especially in Donbas, to Ukrainian legal space. How it could be realized? Now in New York, Ukrainian delegation with the delegation of the United States, Great Britain, France and Germany prepare the draft of resolution of Security Council of sending this peacekeeping mission to Donbas.
But now the issue we're seeing with this, and it's become something that both Russia and China have used, is this unfortunate veto power when it comes to issues regarding their violations of the law.
Of course, first of all, very danger Russian veto, because I suppose that it's not Russian interest to return this territory to the Ukraine. But this draft resolution also transformate Minsk peaceful agreement into the text of, and integrated to the text of this draft of the resolution. And I should sign that this Minsk agreement signed by Russian Federation, signed by the separatist leaders, and signed by Ukrainian side and OSCE. And four presidents in their own declaration also support this document: the President of Ukraine, President of Russian Federation, President of France, and German Chancellor.
So the idea is it would be hard for Russia to veto something when it incorporates a deal that it has previously agreed to follow.
It's very difficult, but it's possible. It's possible because of this rude policy of Kremlin as an international relationship. But when this resolution of Security Council will be presented by 5 countries, I suppose it will be at the end of January next year, maybe at the beginning of February. And after discussion, it's maybe 1 month, the countries member Security Council, of course, will send to Ukraine so-called observation mission about financial task of this mission. How it will cost this mission and these peacekeepers. It's some discussion between $1 billion to $2 billion per year, but it's crucially important very strictly figures of this coast. And our thinking of our Ministry for Temporary Occupied Territory and the Ministry for Foreign Affairs of Ukraine, that this mission should have three components: military, it's about 20,000 peacekeepers, military, police component, about 5,000-6,000 policemen, international policemen, and civil component, 2,000-3,000 of international and local staff of civil service. And then when this mission will start to work, of course, it should have some provisions and some tasks to implement in their mandate. The first, of course, deploying of this mission, deploying at the all temporary occupied territory. The second one, stop all actually agreed ceasefire at the line of fighting, control uncontrolled part of Ukrainian-Russian border. It's about 406 kilometers, and effective control between Ukrainian-Russian border and the line of fighting between Ukrainian army and the army so-called LDNR. Then the next step of working this mission, disarmament of not legal arms groups. It means first and second corpus, military corpus of LDNR. It's about 32,000 militaries. And after that, these all weapons should be deployed in the special places under UN control. And after that, actually, the international mission should preparing for maybe, I'm not sure, because it's now only draft of resolution. And if we go to the idea of Minsk agreement, maybe to prepare this local future local elections under fully control of United Nations, according to the Ukrainian law. And after this local election, if it will be a mandate of this peacekeeping mission, of course, preparing this territory to transfer to the Ukrainian side, which is a legal owner of this territory.
And so where do you see being the areas that Russia would have the most problems with, would be most likely to want to veto?
Of course, Russia could have a possibility as a permanent member of Security Council to use this veto right of veto. But what I stressed, it's very difficult because we should implement this Minsk text of this Minsk document into the future of Security Council resolution. Well, if Russian, at this case, also use the right of veto, it means that from 2014, all declaration from Moscow and Kremlin that they want to peaceful decision this problem on Donbas region, and they support the idea of peaceful resolving of this conflict, it means it's not a true, absolutely not a true, and we should have another way then if they block this text of resolution. And of course, Ukrainian side and our partners from Normandy format and the United States, of course, should be preparing for this kind of scenario.
And so what are some of the issues that Russia may have in the resolution. We know in the past that Russia's been adamantly against having a full, the Ukrainian-Russia border in that area to have full monitoring of it by a peacekeeping mission. So this has been an issue because, of course, it would not allow them to continue to send troops and these so-called humanitarian convoys across the border. So we know that this would be one issue that they would look at attempting to change. Do you see, or is there a desire from partners or allies to really try to bend over backwards for Russia in having them pass this peacekeeping mission?
At the autumn of 2017, Russia officially declared accepting the idea of sending an international peaceful mission to the Donbas. And they proposed their own plan.
Right.
This plan, you know, it's very simple. And to send this mission only to the line of fighting between two sides and to support some observation of OCC to visit temporarily occupied territory.
And this was immediately dismissed.
Every country, serious country, rejects this proposition because it means that Moscow wants to freeze this conflict in Donbas, actually not to resolve, but freeze. Because if you deployed our peacekeeping mission only at the line of frontier and struggle between two sides, it means, okay, they stay Ukraine controls this own territory, and separatists control not control of government, Ukrainian government territory, and between them peacekeeping mission, which actually support and froze the situation in Donbas. And of course, no one supports this Russian plan. Actually, United Nations has the idea that to send in this mission and deploying it to the old territory, which occupy, and it's normal. It's international practice. It's international practice, and all serious countries and diplomats understand that this mission should have a mandate to the all temporarily occupied territory.
And so what can we expect to see in the upcoming year in regards to this measure?
And in this case, I hope that Security Council will vote for this Ukrainian, American, Britain, France and German initiative for sending this mission. And maybe after this monitoring, financial monitoring of territory, temporarily occupied territory, and precising the price of sending of this mission, we will, at the end of the next year, maybe in the autumn, the end draft of this resolution, which stress that this mission could send in to Ukraine. It will be a real step to the deoccupation of temporarily occupied territory. It will be a real step to the realizing of all items of Minsk peaceful agreement. And it's real step to establish normal situation for internal displaced person and to person which live in temporarily occupied territory, because they live, it's very hard and difficult conditions. I am sure that Ukrainian state could provide a lot of support to this territory after the occupation, of course, with this financial and economic support of our partners in Europe and America.
Well, thank you very much for coming to discuss this issue.
Thank you very much for the invitation.
And that was Oleksandr Levchenko, Special Advisor to Ukraine's Ministry for Temporarily Occupied Territories and Internally Displaced Persons. Thank you for joining us, and stay tuned with UATV for more.